Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Well, thanks to the USF Connect program and team for hosting me today, and thank you for taking some time to listen to me. I'm hoping that by the end of this presentation you learn something that you don't know. My name is Bilal Saleh. I am with a company called eNor. It's a Silicon Valley-based company. It's a consulting firm specialized in web marketing and digital analytics, which is kind of the topic of this presentation. The company started about 10 years ago. We have offices, the headquarters is in Santa Clara in the Silicon Valley. We have offices in Los Angeles, New York. I started an office here in Tampa a few months ago. Also, we have our European branch in Brussels, Belgium. The company has a lot of certificates primarily from Google. As you can see, Google Analytics Premium, and so forth. So we are really part of the leading edge technology when it comes to web analytics. So far, I think we've done something right. So we've amassed an impressive list of customers, including eBay, Sony, even YouTube, actually, SanDisk, MIT, AT&T. So I guess, as I said, we must have been doing something right, so we're attracting good customers. So what I'd like to discuss today actually is not completely focused on web analytics. I don't know everybody's background and how much you know about internet marketing and digital marketing. So I will try to level that playing field a little and mention some of the basics about digital marketing. Then I put in the context of what is analytics and how analytics can help you improve your online marketing campaigns. So we'll talk about online data, what type of data, how you benefit from that data. We'll differentiate between bringing traffic to your website or your Facebook page or whatever online presence you may have, and converting that traffic into something that you want visitors to do, whether to subscribe to something or buy something from you. That's the conversion aspect. So bringing traffic is something, and then what you do with that traffic is something else, and that's our focus today. Then we talk about web analytics, in particular as a tool to help you improve the experience of your web analytics or your online presence. Then we talk about specific things you can do to make web analytics work for you and gives you specific measurable results. And finally, Chris will talk about what we've done for the USF program, or we have not done, we're not finished yet, we are in the process actually. We're helping USF improve their website. So Chris will talk about the objectives, the KPIs, and then I will briefly discuss how we are implementing those changes for the USF Connect program. So let's start from a very simple basic level. We are all involved in creating and generating data online. Every one of us is a use case. You go to a website, you visit a Facebook page, you produce a video, you comment on a blog, you write a blog. So all these activities collectively are actually generating tons and tons of data. So we are producers, we are also consumers of data. So the question is, what do we do with the data? How can we benefit from that data? And when I say we, I mean marketers. Now, just to be clear, this is about marketing. Now, marketing doesn't mean always has to be for profit. It could be not for profit. It could be for anything. But you are marketing something online because you want people to do certain things. How can you ensure that you lead your visitors to accomplish what you want them to do? So, when I have all this data, on the receiving end of the data, what is going on? How can I leverage this data to help me increase my conversion rate, for example? Again, conversion could be in an e-commerce site to convert visitors from visitors wandering around your site to buying something. That is ultimate conversion for e-commerce when you put your credit card number and you submit the order. That is conversion. For USF Connect, for example, they are seeking people to apply to be part of the program, so they fill out an application. That is another example of conversion. So the question is, this data I'm collecting from my online properties, is it helping me convert people to achieve whatever goals I have? I'm spending a lot of money for my online marketing. Am I getting back something worth my investment, my return on investment? How can I measure that? Actually, even more, can I predict or estimate how much should I spend on my marketing to achieve my goal? How can I optimize my marketing spending? How can I market my site more effectively? I spend a lot of money on content, on graphics, on videos. Am I reaching the right audience at the right time? We talked about spending and determine the channels. Is it better for me to use Facebook as a channel, newsletter as a channel, just my website, my blog? So all these different channels actually yield different results, and you need somehow some means of measuring the success of those channels so you can invest more, or maybe you abandon some channels that are not returning good results. Now, we talked about data. There's garbage in some of the data you have. So when you start slicing and dicing your data, you want to make sure that you are actually starting from clean data, from data that is relevant to what you want to achieve, not something totally foreign about what you want to do. I will give you some specific examples. Also, what do I want to measure? Okay, I have the data. It is clean data, I believe. So what is it I'm measuring? What metrics do I use to measure what I want to measure? So we need to turn this into a more systematic way of measuring and assessing and determining what to do, how much to spend, how to convert people to reach certain goals. Now, when we talk about digital marketing in general, there are broadly two categories of marketing, online marketing, or actually marketing in general, because some of it is not online. The inbound marketing and the outbound marketing. Inbound marketing, you do something online that attracts people. They come to you. They stumble on something of their interest. For example, you have a blog post talking about innovation. And I am an entrepreneur looking for centers to help me with my ideas. I stumble on a blog that has a link to the USF Connect website. So actually, I attracted you to my website. That's inbound. You are coming to me. Outbound, I'm actually going to you to bring you in. For example, when you send a newsletter out, I am sending you a newsletter. I want you to click on it to come to my site. Or I put a banner on some affiliate website. You click on the banner, you come to my site. So those are broadly the two different types of marketing that bring traffic to your website. The end result, all these activities are bringing traffic, bringing data. People leave traces behind them that I can use and leverage to enhance the digital experience, whatever I'm offering you online. Now, those marketing activities, inbound and outbound, generate traffic and help me identify some leads for whatever I'm trying to sell online. But the traffic itself doesn't give me insight about the behavior of those people coming to me. Who are they? Where they came from? What do they want? Can I, to some extent, understand their intent so I can better serve them in the future to serve my goal? Here's where analytics come into play. Actually, before I talk about this, I mentioned SEO here, search engine optimization. SEO is a technique that is used to make your site more efficient and generate more traffic. For example, when people search online, they type something. That something is called a keyword. I'm looking for a weight loss program. So I type weight loss. Whatever website that offers weight loss, I should get a list of ranked pages for those different services. So one way to optimize my website is to use the word website as a keyword in my website. That's a very simple keyword type of SEO, and the list goes on and on. It can be very sophisticated in terms of also doing off-the-page activities. But the point is, SEO is a technique or a collection of techniques that people use to attract. The reason why I bring it up is because most of the cases when I talk to people about analytics, they mix it up with SEO. They think analytics is some sort of an SEO, which is not. So analytics, or digital analytics in general, or web analytics, is a tool that marketers use to measure the digital experience. Digital experience means when you have people coming to your website, they interact with your site, or maybe your Facebook page, or whatever online presence you may have, maybe a YouTube video. There is some sort of interaction. That interaction, how many pages they visit, how much time they spend, did they fill out any forms, what did they actually do? That's the experience that you are creating using your online properties. So how do you measure the effectiveness of that experience in the context of conversion? So I'm attracting you to my website, I want you to do something. Either buy something, fill out a form, watch something, download a document. There is a purpose why I have a website. So converting my visitor to do something that I want them to do, it needs to be measured. So you can understand and you assess the effectiveness of your online property. And that's exactly what the analytics tool does. Now think about it, if you don't have a way to measure and assess your performance, you're like flying blind. You don't know what's going on, you don't have instruments, you don't know what's going on. So exactly what you need to look at is what the experience looks like. When people come to my site, are they bouncing? Bouncing meaning they come to a landing page, they come to a page, and immediately they leave. They don't do anything. That's called bouncing. There's something wrong with that landing page when people are leaving. Or they do couple clicks and then at another page they just disappear. How much time do they spend on each page? Which page they use the most and which content is the most visited and so forth. That's the experience. Without metrics, without measurements, I don't know if my SEO campaign is effective or not. I'm spending a lot of money, I'm generating traffic, but am I generating the right traffic? Am I leveraging that traffic in the right way? I have a social media campaign, whether it's a Twitter or a Facebook page or whatever I'm doing socially or in the social media. I need to measure that. I need to find, is it effective? Is it bringing the results I want it to do? That's the sort of things that you can measure with web analytics. So without analytics, you cannot actually determine those few factors. So some of the examples of an analytics tool. I mean, we do Google Analytics primarily because it is one of the most used tools on the market, but there are other tools. And most of them actually give you similar measurements. For example, a lot of statistics about your daily visitors, your weekly visitors, your monthly visitors. Distinguishing between the new versus return, there are techniques how websites can determine that. Not always work, but for the most part, actually let me touch on these issues a little bit. Websites create what is known as a cookie on your computer when you browse a page or when you visit a website. It's a small piece of text that logs some data about your visit. The time, the IP address, how much time you spend on. So all these metrics we're talking about, some of them actually are stored in a piece of code. It's a text, basically, a text file, very small, that stores these information. When you come back to that site, the site actually fetches that there, then they decide whether you are returning or you are a new visitor. However, if you are visiting that website from a Firefox browser, that's one visit. Then after that, you visit the same site from an Internet Explorer, a Microsoft browser. That counts as a second visit. You visit the same site from your mobile phone, that's the third visit. So these numbers are misleading. And the reason why I'm actually calling this out is because when you do analytics, you need to look at from two perspectives. There is the quantitative aspect, and there is the qualitative. So we know that most, actually all, tools don't give you accurate numbers. They give you statistics, averages, percentages. So smart marketers need to take those and turn them into trends. Instead of looking at them as absolute numbers, I need to look at trends over time. So there will be some errors, but I can decide or I can determine if this view or visits to this page has increased in the past 3 months or has decreased. So that's a trend, that's an indicator. You may be able to do some surveys to your visitors to get some qualitative data. So you combine quantitative with qualitative, you pretty much get an accurate picture of what's going on. So all these figures actually, some of them you need to look at carefully, to say the least. Also bounce rates, when we call page stickiness, when you actually stay on that page, you read and you go to the next page, that there's something attracting you about those pages or whatever we have, the content on that website. Average conversion rate, so I have X number of visitors, X% of those or Y% actually converted and did what we want them to do. Also, you look at it over a period of time and you look at the trend. I'd like to know which of my pages are the most visited, so I can improve or I can leverage them to do something. For example, if your most visited page is your special or coupons page, then maybe you need to do something also to attract more people. So once you understand where people are spending most of their time, you can leverage that as an asset and improve it. Understanding visitors' behavior. Time on site, what's the average duration a visitor spent on site, and also on a specific page. So all these metrics actually help you understand what we call the behavior. Also, you need to know where the traffic is coming from. It's really important. Who is referring traffic to you? Is it coming from a commercial website? Is it coming from an affiliate website? So knowing where traffic is coming from is important to even leverage it even more. Or maybe you are spending money on a referral site, but no traffic is coming from that site. So you know there's no need to spend on that source. Also geography, where traffic is coming from, especially for multinational companies or even national companies. You need to know where the traffic is coming from. What languages, what technology? Are they using a mobile phone? Which browser? Sometimes it is important for developers actually to know which browsers users are using the most, so they optimize content for that browser, for example. So all that info is really important for you to optimize what we call the digital experience and improvement in order to increase your conversion rate. Also, actually, it can tell you site revenue, best-selling products, average order value. For e-commerce site, you can assign dollar values, and you can actually figure out how much this page is bringing or how much this product is bringing. Of course, all those like averages, and you need to take them in the context of the quantitative data we mentioned. So, digital analytics can help you answer these questions. The source of converting visitors. I know I have this percentage of my visitors is converting. Where is it coming from? Again, to reward the source or to even leverage it more. The most valuable content pages. Which page is visited the most, how much time people are spending on it. Internet site search. This is really also important. Some sites have a search engine for that site. So if I go to Amazon.com and I'm looking for sunglasses, and I type sunglasses, and I got tons of links and pages and models, and I got confused, I abandoned, and I left. Now, with web analytics, I can see that people are searching for sunglasses, then they are disappearing. So something is going on. I have sunglasses, I can sell it to them, but somehow I'm not convincing them to stick around to buy it. So there's something wrong with the way I'm presenting the data once they found what they are looking for. Or they are using the wrong keyword for a product, or a keyword for a product that I have, but I don't have it in my search. So when you look at these conversion issues and you look at your internal search engine results, that gives you a lot of insight how to fix it if you see some anomalies that something is going on. Average visits to conversion. See those averages and percentages, as I said earlier? We need to look at those from a qualitative perspective, like trends. Don't look at absolute numbers, because, as I said, those tools in a lot of cases actually don't give you accurate numbers. And there are good reasons why you don't get accurate numbers, but there are ways to mitigate that with qualitative measurements. Now, okay, I have the data, now I understand how or what to look for in the pile of data I'm receiving or I'm collecting. Now, how do I measure that data? That's what we call key performance indicators. Every organization has its own KPIs. It's a way to measure the success of whatever you're doing. I mean, KPIs are not unique to web analytics or digital analytics. Any organization can have any KPIs for whatever performance factor they are measuring themselves against. So, to measure your success, in this case we're talking about web marketing or online marketing. Your success is, are you marketing the right thing to the right people? Are you driving people to convert to do what you want them to do? That's your success. So, those KPIs are very specific to that organization, but at the end, there should be an action associated with that. You want people to take some actions, to do something, and you need to measure whether they are doing that action or not. So I'll give you an example. So you have an e-commerce site, and you are running a pay-per-click or a paid ad to drive sales. It is costing you, or it cost you last month, $2,000 to run that campaign. But you found out that you only sold $500 worth of merchandise. So you spent $2,000 and you earned $500. There's something wrong here. So what do? So that's your KPI, how much sale I generated last month, for example, from this campaign. That's my observation. What do? I stop. There's something wrong, I'm losing money. So I need to go back and sift through the data and my indicators and the measurements and figure out, okay, why people are not buying. So that's a very simple example of KPI related to goal conversion. Now, when we talk about conversion, we need to be very specific about goals. So, visitors come to your website, you want them to do some actions, that process is called conversion. What you want them to do is the goal. So you need to be very specific and very clear about your goals. I'll give you some examples. The goal has to be specific, measurable, and it has to have some action. A lot of examples. In the USF case, you want students or prospects to fill out applications. That is the goal. So I know how many visitors come to the USF site per month, and I have a goal to have 1%, 2%, 3%, whatever, to actually fill out the application. I set a goal, and I can measure it. It's a very simple goal. I have a product. This month I have a special on water bottles. So I want to sell 10,000 of those. That is my goal. So I can actually set it and measure it. I have a government site. I have some information I want to distribute to people through a PDF file. So I need to measure how many downloads of those PDF files people actually did. I have a video. I also measure how many watched the video, how many paused, how many actually watched it for 5 seconds and disappeared. So all these metrics or goals actually can help me understand and improve my conversion. I have a newsletter. I am a non-for-profit organization. I want people to donate. So that is a goal, very measurable. And the list goes on and on. But the whole point is you need to have a goal, very specific. It has an action. And if people are actually doing that action, then they are converted, and then you can compute and calculate the percentage and trend how people are behaving and converting on your website. So in the end, those conversion and metrics and all that stuff actually determine the performance of your online property, whether it's a website or a social media page or a collection of all the above. You have some investment online, you have presence, you have people coming to you, you need to measure the effectiveness and the performance for the sake of improving it. Again, we're not just measuring for the sake of measuring, we need to measure to improve. So I'll give you some examples. In this case, I'm using Google Analytics reports. Those are real reports that are KPI based. In this case, we have a website that has membership. So people come to your website and you like to convert them to members. When they become members, they put their names, email addresses, at least maybe their phone numbers. And by the way, this is actually when you have members on your website and you are analyzing members' behaviors, that is accurate, as opposed to just visitors. I gave you an example where the same visitor is counted 3 times because he or she used 3 browsers. When you have a member with a name and a password, you know exactly who logged in and what they did. There is no ambiguity in those statistics when you have members. So most actually sites would like to convert you from just a random visitor into a member. So in this case, the KPI is the rate of conversion, or the goal is to convert. So here I'm counting how many actually completed the membership process. In this goal, member to returning visitor. So I have members, how many times did they return, and so forth. So the whole KPI here is revolving around members versus regular visitors and how they interact and what they do on my website. In this KPI, we're talking about, I have a sales campaign, multiple brands, and I'm using, there are different traffic types that are bringing traffic to my site. I have a banner, I have people who actually got my website, that's there, or I have a paid ad like Google AdWords. So in this KPI, I'm looking at specifically these different traffic types, how many visits coming from these sources, what brands they actually look at, and the overall visits, average visit duration, how much time people actually stayed on my website. This is a revolving dashboard, basically looking at a different medium for traffic coming from a pay-per-click, that's an ad campaign, a pay campaign, organic, people just doing the search on Google, Yahoo, or whatever. Referral, somebody referred them to my site, or direct, just type my website address. So we're comparing this month with the previous month and with the same month of last year. Look at this. Actually, these numbers are important, don't get me wrong. But what's more important is the trend. You look at the chart and you figure out it's flat, is it going up, going down. In this case, my PPC actually has not changed, it actually dropped. You see that arrow? A quick glance, I can tell what's going on with that campaign. Organic went up, referral went up, and so forth. So looking at the arrows, looking at the charts, I can at least have a notion of what's going on without actually zooming into the specific numbers. That's the trend you need to go after.